This is the Mihogo One Max folding e-bike, a new product from Mihogo that's live on Indiegogo right now for $1,199. That might change, but let's take a look at it. And there's a link in the description if you want to see more about it. So it's a lightweight magnesium alloy frame that folds in half in the middle. And there is a 750 watt hub motor on the back wheel there and a 7-speed Shimano shifter as well. And then there is a super sturdy luggage rack on it that has mounting points for various luggage if you want to put luggage on it. There's a taillight brake light, the battery in the back, and then there's another battery built into the frame. So it's a dual battery, 29 amp hour, 48 volt battery. The seat is nice and squishy, so it keeps you comfortable on the ride. And you can see the middle of the bike is a big giant hinge with a latch that keeps it shut. And it even has folding pedals if you want to lay it down flat. That makes it a few inches shorter if you lay it down on its side. And up front, you've got Kenda street tires. These are great tires, way better than the knobbies you get on some of these bikes. It's got adjustable damping and a lockout on the left and spring tension on the right on the hydraulic fork. And up here, you get a twist throttle, comfortable grips, a Shimano 7-speed shifter, and then the controller is a lot like a lot of the controllers, 5 speeds up and down, and it has an app that you can connect to do navigation as well if you want to, and then hydraulic disc brakes that run on mineral oil. These brakes work great. We'll talk about that later. And then 180 millimeter rotor in the front for these disc brakes, and then 160 millimeter rotor in the back. And a super bright headlight as well. We'll take a look at that at night. And this is what it looks like with the handlebar and seat at their maximum height. So you can adjust the height of the handlebar and of the seat as well, which makes this a great bike for tall people. I'm 6'1", and you can see my bird bike here is set up for me at 6'1", and the Mihogo behind it with the handlebars at maximum height is just way taller. So if you've got back problems and need to sit up straight or just want to be really comfortable on a bike, that's me, 6'1", sitting on this bike with the handlebars max out.
The handlebar is 51 inches. And that is 32.5 inches from the pedal to the middle of the seat.
Now, the most expensive Mihogo One bike has a torque sensor in the pedals. So depending on how hard you push the pedals is how much assistance you get. I'll go into that in detail a little bit later. And I also recommend that if this catches your interest, definitely go to their website and read all of the details about the bike that they've put on there. I've put some of the screenshots here just in case I've missed anything, because I'm sure I've missed some things. But there's a lot of tech built into this bike, and they explain it better than I do. So I'd recommend checking their site out. If you want to fold it up and put it in the back of the Prius, you can see it folds up and lays flat in the back of my car with the seats still up. So I can still have a full set of passengers in there, and it fits comfortably behind the passengers. And then if you want it to be lighter, I believe it's 65 pounds if you take the batteries out, and then the batteries are another like 15 pounds or thereabouts. So it folds up pretty easy, folds down equally easy. And this is unedited, first time ever, this kid taking the bike out of the car and showing you just how fast you can get it set up after it's been folded in half. And this is acceleration with no pedaling at the highest pedal assist level, which is number 5. So you can see how quickly it takes off here. I think it's comparable to other bikes, maybe better than some of them. And the top speed, it's set at 27 miles an hour from the factory. And this is pedal assist 5 acceleration from 0 to 28 miles an hour, pedaling as hard as I can and shifting gears. So you can see you can really take off quick with this thing if you help it out with your legs. There we go, we're already there. And each pedal assist mode has different top speeds. So 1 is 9 miles an hour. 2 is 13 miles an hour. 3 is 18 miles an hour. 4 is 22 miles an hour. And then 5 is 27 miles an hour. Now, I've never had a bike with a torque sensor before, and I really like it. I really like everything about the way this bike works. So I've got it in the highest mode, in mode 5, and you can see how sensitive the throttle is. Like, I can really just creep along with the throttle. A lot of cheaper e-bikes are like an on-off switch, and they're real jerky. But this one, the throttle is really nuanced, and you can go as quick or as slow as you want and really control the bike really well. And you can see here, even though I'm in pedal assist 5, if I'm just barely pedaling, I can go slow, or if I'm just barely throttling, I can go slow. So, you know, on some bikes, it's just trying to reach maximum speed all the time. But on this one, you can see if I pedal gently and don't give it a lot of torque, even though I'm in mode 5, it still keeps me creeping along at like 12, 13 miles an hour. instead of zipping all the way up to 28 miles an hour like a lot of other bikes do. So you can really just leave it in mode 5 and control the pace and the speed with your legs if you want to get a little exercise, and not have to be shifting up and down between modes. This is a seriously steep hill at the end of the earth here, and this is a real test for e-bikes. So whenever I test a bike, I take it on this hill. My bird bike can't even get up this hill unless I pedal, and then some other bikes are in low single-digit speeds. So this one is full throttle, no pedaling, from a dead stop at the bottom, just seeing how we do. And you can see it is creeping up into double-digit speeds, which is quite good. So in terms of how it stacks up with other 750-watt bikes, I think it's a little bit better, maybe a lot better than some of the other ones I've taken up this hill that get into the 6, 7, 8 mile an hour range. This one's doing 11 miles an hour here towards the top at the steepest part of the hill. And we're not going to stop. We're going to take it all the way to the top just to see if anything overheats or dies, or if it complains, or if it slows down. And this bike is consistent. You can see we're still in double-digit speeds once we hit the top of the hill, so that's a pass. And overall, this bike handles great, works great. Everything just feels right. The brakes, don't make a lot of noise, and they haul it down real quick. And if we're zooming down the hill here in the high 20 mile an hour speeds, and I crank into a right turn, let's see if I die. Nope, it goes around a corner real nice. Those tires, again, those street tires are awesome. And then if we go from 20 miles an hour to 0 here at the stop sign, it stops quick. So that's a pass on the handling test. Here's what the hub motor sounds like when it's running. Here's a close-up look at the luggage rack. You can see that rear triangle keeps your luggage out of your wheels. And then on the top, you can see those slotted holes that you could use to bolt a box on there. And you can see how thick and sturdy it's built as well. Mihogo does make saddlebags for this bike, but they didn't send me any. So these are the old saddlebags off of my motorcycle. So you can see you can use motorcycle luggage on it. It's about the same size as a motorcycle, and it works great. And there are a couple of bolt holes up at the front that probably could be used to hold a basket on as well. And where I live, a lot of people like to haul surfboards with their bikes. So you can definitely do that with this bike. You can bolt it onto the luggage rack, or you can see this guy's got a similar bike, and he's got a seat post mount on his, and then that guy's got a rear rack. So definitely could haul surfboards with the Mihogo One if you wanted to. Mihogo claims that this bike has 167 miles of range. You can see I'm about a quarter down on the battery after 35 miles, so we'll see how far I get. Usually these are overestimates from any bike manufacturer, but so far it's doing great. And the gnomes at night are big and bright in the headlight of the Mihogo One. So that you can see how bright the headlight is. It does great at night, and then that's your brake light / tail light there in the back. And this is the box it comes in. I didn't do a full unboxing video just because those are boring, and it's pretty simple, and it's basically the same for most e-bikes, but it is packaged really well. Comes in a box with these little plugs in it. So the secret of a bike box with these plugs is you pull all the plugs out, and then that will allow you to lift the top of the box off. So it comes open like that. So that's a lot easier than one that you have to kind of lift the bike out of the box. It's just all sitting there, and then you can put the handlebars on, put the front wheel on, and you're ready to ride. So there's a look at it. So you can see the handlebars are well protected, and you just pop them off, turn them sideways, and bolt them on. Like that. That comes up, and then there's 4 bolts on top. You just take those 4 bolts out, 1, 2, 3, 4, put the handlebar in, and clamp them back down, and you get some tools there, and some pedals, and a charger, and then you are ready to ride. So my overall impression is this is a really great deal for the price. If it's $1,200 for a bike that does everything as well as this bike does, and has longer range than most e-bikes that even cost twice as much. And where I live, and probably where you live, where anybody lives, there's always a place where everybody wants to go and hang out at the same time. Like in this case, it's the beach. And on one of these bikes, you can just zip past traffic. You can park wherever you want. You can really just get around town way better than a person who's stuck in a car. So it feels safe. It feels quick. The brakes work great. It handles great. You can see that guy tried to run over me there a second ago, and I was able to swerve. So everything about this bike is really, really good. I'm happy with it, and I really like it. And there's a link in the description if you want to learn more about it. Like I said, I recommend watching the video that they made about the bike and reading all of the tech specs on just how special this thing is and what kind of tech it has that other bikes may not have.